Welcome to the channel, and today we'll be discussing the song with arguably the best flow on Kamikaze, Venom. Venom was the last song on Kamikaze and was certainly Eminem ending it with a bang, and Venom is also the soundtrack for the 2018 Venom movie. In this, Eminem describes how his music is similar to how the symbiote takes over the host. And as we dive in, remember to subscribe if you're new to the channel and turn on notifications. Eminem starts this, and just a few seconds in, Eminem has sprinkled meanings all over the place with his first bars that may sound ordinary to the casual listener, but this is far from the truth.
Malevolent as I've ever been, head is spinning, this medicine screaming, let us in, it like a salad bowl, Edgar Allan Poe.
This medicine screaming "let us in" is in reference to when Eminem was on drugs, and it's quite accurate to say Eminem had a symbiotic relationship with drugs. "Let us" in that bar is also a homophone for lettuce, which Eminem then connects with salad bowl, which also connects with the Edgar Allan Poe salad. And that's not all. Edgar Allan Poe was a writer also popular for his mystery and horror novels. And guess who is also popular for horrorcore rap music? Eminem. Eminem then refers to how drugs nearly ended him in 2007.
Bedridden, should have been dead a long time ago. Liquid Tylenol, gelatin, sneak my skeletons melting.
This is no joke, and Eminem was even told that he had just a few hours to live when he overdosed in 2007, and gelatin in that bar could be in reference to the substance that is made by prolonged boiling of skin, cartilage and bones from animals, and Eminem is probably using this as a reference to the effects of getting overcome by the symbiote liquid that latches onto hosts to become Venom.
Wicked, I get all high when I think I smell the scent of elephant manure, element, Kahlua.
Elephant manure is used for several things, including mosquito repellents, beer, and even a coffee brew known as the Black Ivory coffee, which is probably what Eminem is referring to here, and he continues by stating he meant Kahlua. Kahlua is liquor from Mexico that contains Arabic coffee beans, and Swifty from D12 also spoke about drinking Kahlua and gin and throwing up on the mic in the song Under the Influence on the Marshall Mathers LP. Eminem in the next bar plays on how in his career he went down during his drug use period and still managed to come back on top the rap game after years of depression and drug use.
To hell with it, I went through hell with accelerants and blew up myself again.
An accelerant is a substance used to aid the spread of fire, and Eminem uses this word to play on how he was still able to blow up from hell. Hell, especially in religious texts, is described as a place burning with fire, so of course going with accelerants will cause explosions. And this is not all, because accelerant also means accelerating or causing acceleration, and Eminem continues the bar by stating,
Volkswagen, tailspin, bucket matches my pale skin.
So he's implying he's accelerating to the point that he's about to lose control, as tailspin means to become increasingly chaotic and out of control, and buckets in that bar means for a vehicle to move quickly or jerkily, so Eminem is pretty much talking about a car here. Notice how pale is also a play on homophones, since buckets and pale are actually synonyms, so this vehicle we're talking about here is actually Eminem referring to himself. And in the next bars, Eminem uses a clever description of how he moved from being a poor white guy to a moment that defined his hip-hop career.
Went from Hellman's and being rail thin, fish, scribbles, jam, rap Olympics, 97, Freaknik.
Mayo and Hellman's in that bar is Eminem referring to himself as a white guy, since mayo is a derogatory term for white people, and Hellman's is a brand of mayo. The Filet-O-Fish signifies poor since it's cheap McDonald's sandwich, and Scribble Jam and Rap Olympics 97 were festivals Eminem attended that helped him break out in hip-hop. Rap Olympics 97, for instance, was where Eminem was discovered by an Interscope intern that gave his tape to Jimmy. Before the next bars, Eminem describes life with his friends Proof and Bizarre before he blew up.
Dr. Dre said hell yeah, and I got it stamped like a postcard, word to mailman.
Hell yeah is Dr. Dre's signature expression in many Eminem songs, and to get a stamp is to get an approval from someone. Stamp can also be linked to postage and delivery, and Eminem gives a shout out to Mailman, which is pronounced like mailman. And Mailman is a producer that worked with Dr. Dre on The Chronic 2001, and Eminem ends the first verse with this.
This fucking world better prepare to get laced because they're gonna taste my...
Laced in that bar means a couple of things, including to add a substance, to give a beating to someone, or to be fastened or tied up, and these all tie in well with the Venom theme of the song. Eminem in several songs has referred to his pen as ammunition, just like in Offended on Revival where he referred to his pen as a missile launcher, and Eminem does the same here. Eminem here is pretty much stating that he'll not hesitate to use his words as weapons to fire at anyone looking for some hit, and here he described his pen as a loaded shotgun. Eminem then does some clever play on the words will and will to describe how he traps victims like Venom does to hosts. Held against your will like a hubcap or mud flap. To be held against your will is to be held without one's consent or forcibly, and Eminem plays on homophones to describe this in the literal sense, like how hubcaps are held against the wheels of motor vehicles, and mud flaps are held to protect the vehicle from splashing mud and debris. Both of these are screwed to the vehicle, so Eminem is pretty much stating that once he gets a hold of you, you're screwed, and you can't escape the ride he's taking you on. Eminem is not about to go easy, and states, "So this ain't gonna feel like a love tap." A love tap is a light punch, and since the wordplay so far has revolved around automobiles, a love tap is a gentle nudge of the car behind or in front of you, which could occur in the process of parking, but this is not the kind of crash Eminem is going for, and Eminem expands on this by referring to the crash of Danica Patrick, the first woman to win the IndyCar series, when her car ended up crashing and reversed in her final race. The car in the reverse at the India nut crash in India, the back of the just mangled steel. And Eminem describes himself as Slim be a combination of an actual Kamikaze and Gandhi. Gandhi was popularly known as an activist that was against British rule in India and employed non-violent methods to get his demands met by the British. Gandhi died for his beliefs and was against violence, but on the contrary, kamikaze pilots during the Second World War stopped at nothing to achieve their goals and would sacrifice their lives to hit their targets, using their planes as weapons to take down the enemy. So Eminem is saying that Slim Shady has a combination of these attributes, dying for what he believes in and taking out the opposition, even if it means also taking himself out in the process, as long as his goals are achieved. Gandhi was from India, and notice how Eminem pronounces India like India, and the same way Gandhi was fixed on back in India is the same way Eminem's fixed on back in India. Eminem starts the final verse on the bar about Elliot Phone Home is a reference to E.T. that released in 1982, and Eminem also adds that he has control of the game similar to how Venom controls hosts once it latches on. Became a symbiote, so my fangs are in your throat, ho. You're snake bitten with mine. Eminem's control of hip-hop at this point is like a symbiotic relationship of Venom and hosts, and Eminem goes on a rampage of rhymes to display his ability on the mic and also mentions how it's going down like Young Jock, which is also the title of Young Jock's hit of 2006, and adds that Dr. Dre put him on like sunblock. To put someone on is to make someone better or represent someone in a positive light, and in terms of Eminem's hip-hop career, Dre put Eminem on, and sunblock is something you put on your skin to shield against UVB rays. In the final section of the third verse, Eminem explains his supervillain status by describing how once he latched onto his fans, there was no escaping him, and of course since his music was viewed as destructive to the youth of America, parents in the United States were against his music, and Eminem states, "I probably ruined your parents' life and your childhood too, cause if I'm the music that y'all grew up on, I'm responsible for you retarded fools." So Eminem implies that he influenced the lives of listeners and their parents, and expands on it by claiming responsibility for mumble rappers especially, since many of these rappers actually grew up listening to Eminem's music and were influenced by him. In addition, many younger artists actually admitted that an Eminem CD was the first they ever purchased when they were younger. And Eminem ends the verse by playing on words and names related to Venom comics. You marvel that Eddie Brock is you, and I'm the suit, so call me Venom. Marvel in that bar means to be filled with wonder or astonishment, but this is also a reference to Marvel Comics, the company that owns the Venom IP, and Eddie Brock in that bar is the human host of Venom in the comics, the reporter that came into contact with the symbiote after he got disgraced, and they became Venom. Eminem here is stating that the listener is Eddie Brock, and is latched on like Venom and takes control. In a way, this is Eminem also stating how his music empowers and motivates listeners, similar to when Venom takes control and makes you superhuman. This is my most played song on Kamikaze because I use this as a workout song, so in a way you could say the whole Venom metaphor for motivation and strength also applies to me. If you'd like to support the channel, consider donating to our PayPal at the link in the description. Thanks for watching, leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed this.